Hi, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk to you about some basic formulas in Excel. We will talk about sum, average, min, and max. So to get started, if you look here at this file, we have this table here with different colors and the associated price for each color. This could be anything you want to think about. This could be a car or clothes. I left the categories pretty generic. But either way, we have a list here with a corresponding price. Yes, there we go. So the first thing that we want to do is to be able to add all these up to figure out what is the total cost. If we were to buy all these colors, what is the total cost of all the colors? There's multiple ways we could do this. We could first go here. We're going to put it here with associated with total. We do the equal sign. And we could just go here to 500 and then do plus 400 plus 350 plus 600 plus 200. Oh, there we go. I'm not doing a plus. Plus 400 plus 300 plus 600. Looks like I'm having some troubles here. Okay, add the 400. Okay, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we should be good. And that's the total cost if we were to buy all of the colors. Now, as you can see, I had some troubles doing that. The easiest way to do this is with something called the sum function. There's two ways you can go about doing this. The way I normally do it is just go equal to sum. So you could do this. You could go here to functions and find the sum and just click on that. And then it will ask you for your number. So, well, what numbers we want to do is I'll just click on this box here and I will select the area that we want to sum and I'll push OK. We could also, if we just do equals and then write SUM and then a parenthesis, and then we go and select all the information we want to sum and then close the parentheses and push enter. It will give us the same result. There's another way that's pretty easy, and if it works only if you are going to do it at the very bottom of all of your data. You could click here at the bottom. We could ignore that all this stuff doesn't exist right now. If we come here to auto sum, we could just click on this button and it will automatically assume that we want to add everything above it, and it will select that region, you can see, and you can push enter and it will give us the same result. So there's a lot of different ways that we can go about getting the total or the sum, which is basically just adding up all of the values and figuring out what is the total. So next we have average. So to calculate the average, we know the average is, if we were to add all those up, so we take 2050 and then divide it by the number of items we have here, that would give us the average. And in Excel we have what is called the average function, so we can go here. Well, what we'll do is we'll just click here to this little f of x, which will say we want to insert a function. If we click on that, we can come here and it already has average, so we could just select on that and push OK, and then it's going to ask us what do we want to average. So you could add you could in each one of these just go and select each one of these cells. If you want to do that, it'd take a lot of time, but we could do it this way. And then we go push OK, and that will give us the average. We'll do it a different way here. We can go back up here to the functions and select average, and then in here we want to first make sure we erase what's written there, and then just go and click and drag all of the data that we want to average. And you can see that there's the little green box, the dotted lines that are kind of moving around the data that we selected. So you know we've got what we want, and we just push enter, and it will give us the average. And then we could also, if we come back to AutoSum, if we want the average to be at the very bottom of our data, so we again ignore all this stuff that's highlighted, we'll click here at the bottom of our data. We could go here on AutoSum, and right where this arrow is, if you can see my mouse over here on the upper right hand corner, if you click on that little arrow and then push average, it will do what the AutoSum did, and it will automatically select everything above it. So we can use that, and now I'll just delete this because we don't want it. And then the last way is just to write it, average, and then do a parenthesis. And the nice thing is in Excel, you know, it gives you a prompt of how does the formula work, and then we just go and select our data by clicking and dragging it, and close the parenthesis, and we're good. So now the last two functions I'm going to talk to you about is the max and the min. So if we had a huge set of data and we wanted to know what is the maximum value or the largest value, we use the max function. So I'll show you first. We can just go here to functions, and it's built in. So if you look here, max, you click on that, and it will bring it in, and then it will ask you what data do you want to select. I'll erase that and go and select the data I want and push enter. And another way I'll show you is just to write it in. So you can just write max, parentheses, select the data you want, close the parentheses, push enter. And the same with the min. We can do equals to min, parentheses, we can select our data, close the parentheses. We could come up here to the functions and scroll down and look for min. I'll just type it in right here. So we'll just type in min. We'll push go. And it took a minute. It found where it was, and we can push OK. And then we want to select the data we want, and push enter, and there we go. So those are some functions that you can use. They're basic things that if you're going to be using Excel a lot, that you should be familiar with the different ways to calculate some of these things. I imagine if we come here over here to AutoSum, it also has max and min. So if we were, and you know, we can click on it here. See, it's confused. It selects this data that's next to our cell, our formula. So if you want to use the min and max auto feature, you have to have it underneath. And what I'll do, so it's not as confusing, I'll insert a row here, and we'll again ignore all this stuff, and we'll just do an AutoSum feature for the min. So if we do min, it auto selects our data, and we can push enter, and that would be the min value for that data set. So I hope you find that this information is useful. If you want to learn any more tips and tricks with Excel, just visit excelinyourlife.com and look at the blog posts and other videos.